everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of season 2. We are going to join Mr. Arnold Mabongengala. Hello, Mr. Arnold Mabongengala. What have you got for us today?
Hello, and thank you so much. You know, I always love to be here. I'm always grateful to be here.
We love having you as well.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so what are we talking about today?
Okay, today we'll be talking about marriage rights in Africa.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
So,
What are marriage rights?
You remember? Yeah. Okay, before I get marriage rights, like remember on our last episode we were talking about puberty rights, right?
Yes.
Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. So I even said, yes, I said rights are steps which are taken when a certain origin is being implemented, right? Even said it's almost the same with the rituals. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yes. And then, so now, the only difference now is that last time I was talking about puberty rights. Now I am talking about marriage rights and steps that are being taken to implement an event called a marriage.
Okay.
Because marriage, yes. So the only difference now is the life stage. On that other stage, we were talking about puberty, right? But on this stage now, we are talking about marriage.
Okay.
Yes. So, so do you remember on the episode about the roles and positions of women in Africa, right? Yes. We say that in some African communities, a man works so hard, maybe for about a year, to court a woman. Do you remember when we said that?
Yes, I remember, yeah.
Yes. So during courtship, the woman has leverage on the relationship, and in order for a man to maintain that relationship, he has to always respect the woman. Do you remember when I said that?
Yes.
And we also say that it's meant to build a marriage foundation that influence men to respect their wives. Do you even remember that?
Yes.
Yes. So in other words, the foundation of marriage in those communities is found during courtship.
Okay.
I even said yes.
Yeah, I think
so. So this makes us to begin today's discussion about marriage rights in Africa in the courtship stage. Okay. So yes, because the foundation of some other forms of marriages is found in courtship. So that is where we are going to begin because of that.
All right.
Yes. So, and if you still remember, I said, or we said, marriage in many cases is a long process. Unlike in Western culture where people just go to a rich court or to a magistrate court and then they get married and then they get things and they have a marriage certificate. But in Africa, it's a long process. It's not a one-day process.
Okay.
In many communities, yes. You see, so that's what. So marriage in Africa is different from Western culture or many cultures because of that. To us, marriage is a way of life. It's a long term for people to say they are now married. You see, so there are many rights which take place. Yes. Okay. So going back to courtship, right? So in order for for a woman, for a man, right? Like during courtship, in order for a man to get a woman of his choice, he must work very hard. I even said that, right? I said he must work very, very hard. And then different communities, they court in different ways, which means that they have to work hard in different ways. You see, because attractiveness is different in different communities, right? So you will find women of a certain community being attracted to a certain aspect in a man. And that aspect is different from another community. So you must know. So if you're entering a community, an African community, you must know how people perceive things. You must know what they like, what they don't like, because you may do something and then it makes you not to score some points to get the woman of your choice. Right. So I am going to give you examples, right? For example, the Masai people. Do you remember? I think we have spoken about them, right? The Masai people. We say they are found in Kenya and Tanzania, right?
Yes.
And we said they are so famous because of the fact that they are found in game parks. So people get to know them. Yes. So they have got this. So the Masai young men have got this competition. It's a cultural competition of high jump. One of the things that the Masai people are well known of is the high jump.
Yes.
I guess you know that, right? Yes, like they like that.
I've seen it.
Yes. Sorry?
I've seen it. Yes.
Sorry?
I've seen
Oh,
it.
yes. So, yeah, so someone may not know why they like to jump. It's not like it's not just a jump. It's a competition, and it is their way. So what happens is the young man who jumps the highest is the winner, and because of that, he gets some form of social, some form of a higher social status. So to them, it's a way of showing that you are a hard worker. You see, so the highest jumper in most cases is perceived as attractive to Masai women, which means that that person is going to have higher chances of getting the woman of his choice.
Yes, he gets to pick first.
Yes. And then in southern Ethiopia, by the Omo Valley there is a community called the Mayan as in MWEN. But outsiders and the Ethiopian government, they refer to them as the Boti tribe, as BOTI, Boti tribe, yes. So men in that community, they compete to be the fattest, because being handsome in that community is determined by how fat you are. Yeah. So the fatter you are, the more handsome you are perceived.
With a lot of money, you are capable of feeding an extra amount.
Yes. So they have an annual competition where the fattest man in the competition is declared the winner. So men who want to compete in that festival, they spend about 6 months indoors, fattening themselves by drinking blood and milk, so that they become winners. So the winner becomes the hero of the community, and he also gets higher chances of marrying the woman of his choice. Yeah. And then I can give another example among the Zulu people again. I think Zulu people are so famous, right? Because almost in every podcast,
Because you're close to them. they are just our
Yeah,
neighbors, and we are sort of like
yes, and yes,
united.
and they also got a very rich culture. They also got a very rich culture. So among the Zulu men, one has to recite a romantic poem to the woman. For example, let's say the woman is coming from the river there, so he has to approach he has to approach her and then recite a poem in front of the woman, with movement, So I can give you an example
Okay.
of a poem, right? Let's say there's a woman coming,
Um,
then the man will jump in front of the woman, right? And then he will say, "Tudle ntombi." Tudle ntombi means like, excuse me, tudle ntombi. And then he will say, kekela keke, intombi ziyagegela. Akukho ntombi engaqima inyamazana sikhona thina. Nkomo ntombi ngafa inhlamba kanyoko. So you will say something like that.
okay, maybe
So
you need to translate it to English and say just roughly what,
okay,
yeah, for our listeners who don't
okay. So I
understand,
say to say tudle ntombi.
is
Okay,
excuse
so
me.
ntombi is more of making the woman, yeah, have to attend to you, right? And also signaling that you are here for courtship, right?
Okay.
And then kekela ke intombi ziyagegela, you know, akukho ntombi engaqima inyamazana sikhona mina. It's more of saying, literally, it's more of saying, women cannot get married to animals whilst men are there, whilst you are there. Like, there
Okay.
is no way a woman can say that she is unmarried because there are no men like you. There are such men like you, so there's no excuse for her to marry an animal.
Okay.
And then, so it's more of saying, please accept my proposal.
Okay.
I am tired of your mother. I am tired of your mother's insult. So what happens is this: you are not allowed to court a woman while she's going with her mom, with her mother. You see.
Okay. But she's working with her mother.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So so what happens is, or if a mother finds a man courting her daughter, she insults the man to say, you are trying to corrupt my child, and then she has some
Okay.
insults.
Yeah.
So the man is, please, can you accept my proposal? I'm tired of mom always finding
Okay.
me with you. And then
Yeah.
she's insulting me. Something like
Okay.
that. Yes,
All right.
yes. So the man has to continue sweetening the woman with romantic words for months. You see,
Okay.
so if the woman finally agrees, so if the woman finally agrees, she gives the man a necklace.
Okay.
In Zulu is in Zulu is called ucu. In Ndebele is called ulucu. In my language,
Okay.
Ndebele, it's called ulucu, but in Zulu it's
Okay.
called ucu. So it's a form of a necklace. But now this necklace, she does not give it directly to the man. She will give it to. Do you remember? She will give it to.
Please, to
Ikhiyiza, yes,
the
yes.
patron chaperone.
Yes, yes, yes. You see, so it's some form of trying to preserve that kind of respect to a woman.
Yes.
You see, so all this is meant to build a good foundation for marriage. You see,
Okay.
so a woman will give it to ikhiyiza. We say ikhiyiza is the elder.
The chaperone
Is
to the
is
to the girl.
yes, yes, it's a chaperone, yes. the elders, like elder, I can say a young lady who is older than the girl,
Okay.
who is the one who looks after them when there are no parents or when they're in the bushes there. See, because we spoke about it. Yes. And it is also an evidence. It's also an evidence to say there must be a witness in every relationship, you see, so that even if the girl gets pregnant, there's someone who knows who is responsible. You see, so this kind of culture, the fact that some people don't even practice it, that is why today there are these kind of pregnancies where someone will be able to escape after impregnating someone, and then he will deny, you see, because there are no amaqhikiza. You see, so all that was meant or is meant to avoid such things. There must be someone who has to know that this girl is involved with someone, you see. So today some people are just involved and parents don't even know. They only have to see with the pregnancy, you see. So such kind of African institutions, they are tested.
Yes.
Yes. So let's say if the girl denies the proposal, right?
Yeah.
So if the girl denies the proposal, she will tell ikhiyiza to go and tell the man that okay, I am going to say it in Zulu. She will say, "Ucu aluhlangani entanyeni."
Okay.
Did you get that?
Yes.
What do you think it means?
That the necklace can't fit.
No, that is the literal meaning.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? Give me the picture. Why don't you give me the picture there?
The picture.
Yeah, like ucu aluhlangani entanyeni. I said ucu is a necklace that the woman gives to the man as a sign of saying, I agree, right?
Okay. She makes a small necklace that won't fit his neck.
No, not really a small, but it's a necklace. Remember, these people are young people. They have to show their activity. You know, she also, they say first impression counts. It's not a small. It's a beautiful. I think you must look for it on internet. To see how utu. Yes, it's more of a necklace. It's a beautiful necklace.
Yes.
And and actually it's a beaded necklace, and colors there.
Yes.
Colors, they mean many things there. You see. So okay, let me give you an example. The color white, it means that she is a virgin.
Okay.
You see. And the color black means that she's now ready for marriage, because Zulu skirt is black. So you see this coding is there in people, but we are going to talk about more about that when we are speaking of fine art. Remember, we have got yes. So that because many people don't, I think many people don't understand art in Africa. Art in Africa, there are codes, there are passwords through art. So if you don't know, you won't even understand it. So people may think this is just a color, a beaded color. There's a reason.
Used to say that people are just wearing these necklaces with all sorts of colors, but they don't know what the colors mean, because now people just wear the fashion, whereas they symbolize the type of thing.
But yes. So anyway, to say ucu aluhlangani entanyeni, okay, literally we have said it. It means that the necklace didn't manage to fit in the neck. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. But what she's trying to say is that I am not going to give you ucu.
Okay.
You see, and by giving ucu means she's accepting the proposal. So if she's not giving ucu, it means she's denying, right?
Yes.
So yeah. So in like in every African community, there is a certain age where a person is supposed to be married. And this put pressure to people to work harder to be in the matrimonial institution so that they are not labeled as failures, you see. So in African culture, marriage is so emphasized such that if you're not married, sometimes you are perceived as a failure in society. Yes. So this pressure is meant to ensure that there is continuity of the community through procreation. So it's just meant to make people, it's just meant to preserve that community, you see, through procreation.
Yes.
so that's why there's always this labeling of people who are not married, see, and getting children and getting children out of wedlock is not encouraged. This is because there's a belief that a child who grows in a marriage setup where there is a mother and father is believed to be going to be a good citizen of the community, you see. So okay, I'm going to give you, for example, let's say in the Ndebele culture, a bachelor or a spinster. A spinster is also called a what? A bachelorette. A bachelorette, right?
Yes.
This is a woman who's not married.
Yes.
Okay. So they can go for an extra mile by magical ritual interventions, right? For example, okay, let me give you an example. So there is a cleansing ritual called ukuphehlela isthundu. Do you know that?
I've heard of it.
Okay. So so the bachelor or the bachelorette, right, will kneel down and a calabash with lucky herbs. And those herbs, they have got froth.
Yes.
So they are put on that calabash, right? Yes. And then, so they are going to put some herbs, some lucky herbs with froth or foam on the calabash. And then they put some liquid water so that to catalyze the froth. And then the person kneels down, and then someone puts the calabash on top of his or her head, and then there is a chaining stick. We call it upesho, and then they start to chain or to steer those lucky herbs, and then the foam comes out, and then it flows to the body, to the face and the body, and that froth is believed to be the one which brings luck to that person, you see. So it's a ritual, you know. So it's done in many ways, yeah. Or sometimes the bachelor will go to a traditional doctor, right? Or a herbalist, yeah, for a lucky charm, which in any form. For example, okay, let me give you an example. There is a certain tree with a sweet bark, right? So they will give that person that a piece of a sweet bark. So it's so sweet, and then he has to put it under the. He has to put it under the tongue. He's courting a woman, you see. Okay. So it is believed that that piece of sweet bark, when it softens his voice, and that will soften, and that sweet voice will soften the heart of the woman. Okay. So in the way we call that bark umlomo mnandi, which means sweet mouth. Yes. So that is another I can say a magical ritual to make. So what I'm trying to say is that people do all the means to get out of that being bachelors or bachelorette, so that they cannot be labeled in the society to a point of going to a point of even using magic. Yes. So because of that, the industry of charms is lucrative. You see, because of that. And then okay. Sorry?
I said it never has a recession. There's always customers.
Yeah. Yes. And then okay. So in southwest of Ethiopia, right, there's a community called the Moon, which is like moon as in MUN.
Okay.
But outsiders, they call it the Mursi community. Mursi as in MURSI.
Okay.
You see, so during puberty, the young woman's lower lip is cut, and a wooden or clay plate is inserted into the lower lip. You see, so it should be like this. Let me show it like this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So this is meant to stretch the lower lip, because the bride price is determined by how big the lower lip is. So the bigger the lower lip, the bigger the sign that this one is going to be married after paying a hefty bride price. So, and this means that the man who is to quote that woman already knows how much
money.
he already knows the extent of hard work he is going to be involved in trying to, try as a way of getting married to that woman. So those are the other things that some African communities find during courtship, you see. And such a woman in the moon community is perceived to be beautiful. Beauty in them is by the length of the lower lip.
Okay.
And every man wants to have the woman with the longest lower lip, you see. So that is their perception of beauty. Yes. So yes. And then so speaking of work, the bride price, a hefty bride price, right? It also shows that in some African communities, they use wealth as a source of getting the most highly esteemed woman in the society. You see, even in Ndebele, there is a saying, ubuhle bendoda yisibaya sayo. I think you have heard of that, right?
Yes, I have.
Sorry?
Yes, I have.
So, okay, if you can help our listeners who
It
don't
says,
understand the language,
the
what does it literally
of a
mean?
man is determined by the size of his pocket.
Sorry?
The size of his pocket, a man's pocket determines his handsomeness.
Yes. So literally, it means that the extent of how handsome a man is determined of how many heads of cake he has.
Yes.
So
in today's culture, the more money a man's got, the more handsome, the more good looking he is, the more appealing.
Yes. Because today wealth is it comes in the form of money, not cake. So the more money you have, the more handsome you are.
The more appealing.
So wealth also plays a part in marriage and courtship. And if you remember when we were speaking about brides in the podcast, when we were talking about roles and positions of women, do you remember we said some of these African institutions were destroyed by colonization, which is why sometimes some women find themselves in disadvantaged position. So you see that by the fact that due to colonization, African men, their cake was confiscated. It means that they could not marry, you see, not marry because they don't have, you see. And in today's situation, what we can say is that because of unemployment, especially Africa, there's high employment in African countries, and due to the fact that wealth and marriage, they are inextricably intertwined. Some people are bachelors because of unemployment, you see, or some people, they impregnate women and they deny the pregnancy because they know that they can't take care of the baby, you see. So all that leads to digital.
They're just being irresponsible.
Yes. yes. But you see, all that is due to the fact that some of African institutions. Remember, we spoke about the institution of amaqhikiza, and we also spoke about the institution of wealth. You see, because many people were I cannot really say wealthy, but they could afford. You see, many people could afford.
Yes.
Sorry?
They could afford to marry because they had cattle. Now that the society has changed.
Yes.
All those things.
Yes. So, okay. So among the Nguni people, right?
Yeah.
Especially those in South Africa, like especially in the Eastern Cape, for example, the Xhosa people, Amampondo, and some Zulu people in KwaZulu-Natal. There is a courtship system called ukuthwala. So ukuthwala literally means to lift someone up.
Okay.
Like lift someone, sorry, or to carry someone, if I can put it that way. So what this implies is a kidnap, or is abduction, if I can put it that way.
Okay.
So yes. So and in other words, women are kidnapped. See, and in most cases, these are arranged kidnappings. For example, okay, let me give you an example. Let's say the bridegroom to be, or the people who represent the bridegroom to be, will go to the father of the bride to be, and then they will pay, and then there's some form of payment that they will do to the father to say, we like your child, we want you to be the wife of maybe my child, my son. And then the father will take that payment, and then they will arrange that the girl or the young lady is going to be sent to the river to fetch some water, and along the way, they have to kidnap her. You see?
Does she know that? Does she have any say in that? Or
okay, I will get there.
Okay.
But at this point, she does not even know that there is a certain arrangement which is taking place. So when she comes to from the river, she meets some man who will tell her that we are kidnapping you because we want you to be the wife of so and so. And so at that time, in most cases, he will be there.
Okay.
So she does not even say at that time. Then they kidnap her, and then when they kidnap her, they take it to their homestead, and then they send people to her family to say, we have kidnapped her. You see, so come and look for her in our direction.
Okay.
So during the kidnapping, there, that family tries to convince the woman that, please, can you marry our child, our son?
Okay.
We are going to take care of you. So if she refuses, they don't have a choice. They have to go and ask for that payment again to the father.
Get a refund.
Yes, a refund. Yeah, that's the good way.
Why is that?
Yeah. So they have to go and get a refund, and then the girl is released. So it may sound as some form of kidnapping, but in those societies, it's a normal thing. You see, even if you are kidnapped, you know that it's just a system. I don't know how to put. It's a
It is a system. The Roma community.
Sorry. Yes.
Roma community
Yes.
also practices
Yes.
something similar. I've heard them.
Oh yes. Yes. Oh yes. It's found in some other in some other communities outside Africa. Yes.
No, but the Roma are this side in Europe. You know, the travelers.
Yes. I know them. We talk about them last time when I said if you say gypsy, sometimes it may sound offensive.
Yes. I've heard them talk about something similar.
Oh, okay. So unfortunately, some community members, they involve rape sometimes, you see, or forced marriage when the girl is refusing.
Okay.
And also kidnapping, because it's also a form of kidnapping.
Yeah.
Kidnapping is illegal in South Africa. You see?
Yes.
So sometimes if you did, the fact that you took someone without her consent, it can lead to kidnapping. And
that brings us to an end of part 1. Part 2 in our next podcast. To Mr. Arnold Maibongengala, thank you very much. And to you for listening. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please don't forget to like, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify and iTunes and all the other places that you get your podcast from. Thank you.